You had a not so good football team play what I'm labeling as, and I've labeled them as a great the past 2 weeks, a great football team. I've had Tennessee ranked ahead of Alabama the past couple of weeks, and this validates it even more. They're a great football team. I know it's kind of hard for people to grasp and understand because welcome to the SEC, buddy. Now, there's a lot of places I could start with this. Of course, I do want to give a lot of credit to Tennessee. We'll get there, but I think it's mandatory that I start with this. Oklahoma, that was a good old-fashioned booty thrashing. Okay? That's one of those, you just got to take a deep sigh of relief. Like, if you're an Oklahoma fan, it's one of those where you don't even get mad. You know, I've been there before. That probably had to be the equivalent of when, since I'm an Alabama fan, I'd say Clemson destroyed us in that national championship. Like, you got beat so bad from start to finish, there's nothing to even get upset about. It was ugly. Final score, did they get that touchdown at the end? I think they did to cut it to 25-15. Let me double check before I go any farther. I don't want to make a fool of myself. Not knowing the final score. Hold on. Leaving this in the video. Best editor on the planet. Why can I not find this? Yep, 25-15. I'm here to tell you, though, that box score, so deceiving. So deceiving. I feel bad for the people that didn't watch this game that are going to... You may watch a couple of the highlights on whatever it is, like college football final, sports, and whatever you watch, and people may tell you about it. But if you watch this game like me, you know, this is how bad it was. I debated. I was like 80% sure. I was setting up the camera. I was going to make this video at halftime because I knew it was over. When it was 19-3 at half, I knew it was over. The only reason I didn't make this video at halftime is because I thought maybe Tennessee might run it up some more and I could brag on them a little more. Just not really brag, I'm just give them more credit. You never know. I don't want to ever make a reaction video at half because so much crazy bull crap could happen in the second. It's college football. If it was the NFL, yeah, but with college you never know, and there may be like an injury. A big injury I could have missed in the third or fourth quarter. Just some major things could have happened. So I was like, let's not do that. But kind of kicking myself in the butt for not making it at half because the same thing I'm about to say I could have said at halftime. You got dominated, okay? I have no idea what the stats wound up being, like third down conversion rate, how many first downs did Tennessee get, how many total yards they get. I have no idea. The only thing I know is Oklahoma. I don't want to get too carried away here. They're not a very good football team. And I'm about to call them average. Nah. Should I? Yeah. They're an average football team. If you watch my preview video, I've been nailing some of my predictions to start this year on the head. I stated it wasn't going to be much of a game. I got Tennessee winning by, was it either 14, 17 points? I think my score prediction was 17. Something like that. I said it really wasn't going to be much of a ball game. Tennessee's not going to have any troubles with them, and it went exactly how I said it was going to go. I thought the edge rushers in the front seven for Tennessee were going to wreak havoc. I thought Jackson Arnold was going to struggle. Why do I think he's going to struggle? It's not because I guessed, okay? Wake up. I'm not guessing when I make my predictions. I watch film. I study. Whatever you want to call it. I watch football, okay? It's part of my job. Rewatch a bunch of these games. And if you've been watching football these past couple of weeks for Oklahoma, you would know they struggled. What did I say in that video? Word for word, paraphrase it almost. If Jackson Arnold and Oklahoma struggle to move the ball and put up points on Tulane and Houston, what do you think is going to happen against Tennessee? That is what I said. You can't make it up. I wish, guys, I really do wish I could sit up here and gloat on myself and brag and tell you how much of a genius I am. I would love to give myself that much credit. But that's not true. It's just common sense. You look at it's called pattern recognition. OU struggles against Tulane. They struggle against Houston. Well, what do you think is going to happen when you play a real deal SEC football team? They're probably going to struggle. Like I said, I'm not a genius. I don't claim to be one. It's just common sense. So don't even call Matt a genius for making this pick. Hey, just doing my job. It's another day at the office. Okay, anybody that had Oklahoma, I'll go as far as saying this. If you thought Oklahoma was going to compete in this game, I'm not going to say you don't know ball, but that was just a bad take. Terrible take. Because they just can't move the ball, man. You can look at this from two ways. I'm leaning more towards the side of, and I think a lot of people are as well, Tennessee was just on cruise control. Once they got up 19-3, it's like, all right, we don't need to pull out any of our crazy plays. Let's just run the ball, milk the clock, and let our defense carry us. Now, maybe they weren't trying to do that, but that's the feeling and vibes I got from watching the game. They were on cruise control. They weren't doing anything crazy. They wasn't trying to throw some pick sixes, let Oklahoma get a lifeline, none of that. Cruise control, that's the best word I can use to describe it. Nico had a Nico performance. I always expected him to do well. One of the best young quarterbacks in the nation and one of my personal favorite quarterbacks in the nation. Josh Heupel had a good game plan. Tennessee running backs did their thing. Yeah, maybe if you want to nitpick, and this is really nitpicking if you're a Tennessee fan, you could say, oh yeah, well we kind of struggled here and there in offense. And yeah, you had some turnovers too. It wasn't great, but anytime you go on the road and just dominate a team like that, you should not be nitpicking, at least in my humble opinion. Just take the win. Don't be greedy, especially Tennessee fans, okay? Y'all sucked for like 12 to 13 years in a row. Do not be greedy, okay? You won the game. You dominated. That should be enough. I can't say enough good things about this Tennessee football team. And what's funny about this is I made, what was that one video we made Thursday on the channel? Was it Thursday or Wednesday where I stated, something on my, oh yeah, college football isn't ready for what Tennessee's about to do. If you haven't seen that video, I'm not even going to spoil it. Go check it out for yourself. But I saw a lot of comments on that video stating, oh, Matt made this video too soon. You know, now he's jinxing Tennessee. I hope that video, well, it does prove now, how much I believed then before the game in Tennessee. College football, I said in the video, it was the title of the video. I'll say it again here. College football isn't ready for what Tennessee's about to do. They're not. And if you don't know exactly what I'm referring to, go watch the vid. I'm not explaining it. Tennessee, they play great. They play great. If I had to grade their performance, we'll do that at the end. We'll do it on the whiteboard. Oklahoma, your defense is fine. They're not great. You could argue and say they're good, maybe average, whatever. The problem is your offense. I saw the craziest tweet. Somebody said Jackson Arnold may be the new DJ Ugbadugi. That's crazy. I'm not even laughing because I think it's true. That guy pretty much cost you the game. Those two turnovers, well, think about it. Oklahoma's defense forces a Tennessee turnover. They got the ball on the 5-yard line, first and goal. The first play, Jackson Arnold fumbles it. That should have been the easy 7 points. When you're playing a team like Tennessee, you got to convert that. But hold on, it gets better. Oklahoma forces another fumble, and then Jackson Arnold throws the ball behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it was questionable, but the point is, it was his fault, and the receiver didn't jump on it. 2 turnovers just like that. I knew after that second one, it's over. You can't have, against most great teams like Tennessee, if you just have one of those turnovers and mistakes, it's dunzos. It's wraps. You got 2, kiss your chances goodbye, buddy. And that's what happened. It didn't matter what you did in the second half. You probably weren't going to come back. Like I said, Tennessee, if they really needed to, they could have turned it on a little bit more. That's just my humble opinion. All in all, though, you just got dominated. That's the only thing there is to say. Quarterback situation moving forward for Oklahoma, it ain't good, man. It's not looking good for Oklahoma. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's pull up the good old trusty whiteboard. I have no idea what these stats look like, so I'm kind of curious myself. Oklahoma had 222 total yards of offense. Oh, I remember this stat. I was keeping up with it. At the end of the third quarter, Oklahoma only had 100 yards of total offense. 100 yards in 3 quarters. Pitiful. Woo! Oh, Arnold, not. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's one of the lowest QBRs I've ever seen. Nico. Should be able to say that pretty good. 13 for 21. That's good. Nearly 200 yards, 1 touchdown. But here's the key. When you go on the road in a hostile, now, SEC environment, you don't got to be Superman. You don't got to be a superhero. You don't got to be Spider-Man, Batman, whoever you want to throw in there. You just got to play your role, do your job. And that's what he did. He didn't try to do anything crazy. He bought into the Josh Heupel system and offense, and look what happens. You do pretty good. Arnold, on the other hand, not so much. 7 for 16. That's below 50% for you nerds out there. 54 yards, not good. 1 INT. Now, that INT was really bad, but I do have to throw this in there. Oklahoma's offensive line didn't do themselves any favors, or Arnold any favors. They weren't too good. Now, is that because the offensive line isn't good, or is it because Tennessee's front 7 has NFL talent all on it? I think it's a combination of both. I tried warning Oklahoma fans in the preview video, Tennessee's D-line, they're going to wreak havoc, and they did, so that doesn't shock me. Maybe it shocks some of you, but not for me. But here is the eye-opening stat. Let me double check here. Okay, so Nico's QBR, for those of you who don't know, QBR is based on a scale of 1 to 100, 50 being average. Nico's QBR was 62.3. And we'll go Q, and that's okay. BR, circle that up there. Jackson Arnold's QBR, we'll go QBR right here. Yikes, 1.3. 62.3, which is 12.3 above average, which I would consider fairly good on the road. 1.3, one of the lowest QBRs you're ever going to see in your lifetime. 1.3. Like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. Offensive line didn't help him up. Wait a minute. I'm curious. Let's see how many sacks Tennessee had. Okay, on the night, Tennessee only had 3 sacks, but they were in there applying pressure on almost every single play. There's not too much more to be said, guys. It's relatively simple. You had let me get back in the frame here so y'all can see me a little bit better. You had a not so good football team play what I'm labeling as, and I've labeled them as a great the past 2 weeks, a great football team. I've had Tennessee ranked ahead of Alabama the past couple of weeks, and this validates it even more. They're a great football team. I know it's kind of hard for people to grasp and understand because it's Tennessee, and everybody's waiting for them to do with Tennessee, but this ain't Nebraska, man. They're not going to have that crazy bad laws. No, Tennessee's here to stay. They're here to stay. Really great win from them. I haven't even spoken about this, my apologies. I am beyond happy for a Tennessee fan base, and I'm going to clap it up to them. Congratulations. But also, too, the Tennessee football fans have treated me well my entire career here on YouTube, and same thing for the Oklahoma fans. I hate this matchup because it's 2 of my favorite fan bases. Oklahoma fans and Tennessee fans. Outstanding fans on both sides. Unfortunately, one fan base isn't going to be happy with the outcome of this, and they're not going to be happy with this video because there's nothing good to be said about Oklahoma. I don't expect you to be happy, but just know when it's time to criticize you, I got to criticize. But when it's time to give credit, it's what I got to do as well, and that's what I'm going to do. So I hate it for my OU fans. Keep your heads up. Still got the rest of the season, although it's not looking good. I wouldn't push the panic button quite just yet due to the fact, and hopefully this helps you sleep better at night, you played one of the best teams in the nation. I'm not talking about a top 10 team. No, one of the best teams in the nation. So there's something to be said about that. And I know I said the score is deceiving, but if you want to take a positive out of it, you only lost by 10. So you didn't give up. You kept fighting. There's something to take out of that. There's many more things I could say. Wanted off here. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.